Guten Abend allesamt zum sonntäglichen Stream. Wie so oft, Thorst, schon jetzt ein paar Mal ist versuche ich sonntags einen Experten zu bekommen. Heute ist es wieder soweit und ihr könnt euch extremst darauf freuen. Es geht um UX-Design, also User Experience oder in Deutsch Benutzerfreundlichkeit, was ja bei Apps ein großer Punkt ist heutzutage. Niemand will mehr irgendwelche Sekunden darauf warten, also selbst Sekunden sind so viel darauf warten, bis er versteht, was das ist, wie das funktioniert und so weiter und so fort. Alles muss super schnell und einfach erklärbar sein oder verständlich sein. Und genau dafür ist er heute da. Und da könnt ihr schon ganz gespannt sein. Es ist Heike Senon, schön, dass du da bist. Freut mich. Es ist heute, der junge Mann heißt Enrique, da hört man es schon am Namen. Es ist ein Spanier. Hi Chicharita, ich freue mich extremst auch, dass du da bist, weil das ja genau heute quasi mit dein Thema ist und weil ich eine extra Frage habe für dich, beziehungsweise die Claudi hat das, wie du das gerne hättest, das mache ich mal gleich am Anfang, wie du das gerne hättest, die Animation, wie du die gerne beschrieben hättest oder wie wir die ausarbeiten sollen. Wir saßen nämlich da zusammen und wollten die ersten anfangen und die ersten ausarbeiten und wir wussten nicht so richtig, wie wir das machen sollen. Mit XD hast du uns erzählt, wie wir die App bauen, das ist klar. Das gehen wir heute auch durch, das sage ich nochmal. Der Enrique hat schon von mir die XD-Datei geschickt bekommen. Er kannte natürlich das Programm und hat sich das Ganze angeschaut und wird sich auch dazu äußern. Findet die Idee auch gut. Ich bin gespannt, was er so alles erzählen wird. Er ist schon im Hintergrund, also ich schalte ihn gleich dazu, dann können wir darüber reden. Wie ich sagte, er ist Spanier, das heißt, wir werden heute auf Englisch streamen und nicht auf Deutsch. Ich bin ganz okay in Englisch. Wenn mir gerade was nicht einfällt, helft mir. Oder ich habe hier DeepL als Übersetzer offen. Und er ist auch ganz super lieb und super nett. Und deswegen, wir werden das hinbekommen, bin ich mir ganz sicher. Ah, okay. Schade. Meine Idee war bis jetzt, Chichurida, dass wir das erstmal beschreiben in Worten, bestenfalls noch ein Bild dazu machen und so weiter und so fort. Du hast aber gerade nämlich eine ziemlich stressige Zeit, deswegen weiß ich jetzt noch nicht. Wir wollen halt quasi so viel wie möglich dir abnehmen, das ist der Punkt. Und dir und den anderen. Es haben in den letzten 2 Wochen zumindest bei Instagram sich einige junge Programmierer angemeldet. Da bin ich weiß nicht von wem, ob das ihr empfohlen habt oder ob das irgendwie dazu kam. Es sind auf jeden Fall einige dazugekommen. Xenon, genau das ist heute Thema. Ich werde die XD, oh gut, dass du sagst, ich habe es nämlich noch nicht aufgemacht, XD-Datei öffnen und sie auch zeigen. Sprich, wir werden kurz darüber sprechen, da seht ihr dann auch das Design, wie es ist. Ich könnte mir Skizzen dazu vorstellen, okay. Achso, das sagt Claudia, okay. Es gibt ja noch mehr Programme, Chitu von Adobe. Ich weiß nicht, ob dir das helfen würde. Da gibt es ja noch Animate oder wie auch immer das heißt. Vielleicht hilft dir das ja, dass du da ein bisschen das genauer mehr weißt. Oder vielleicht weißt du da mehr darüber, wie das aussieht, ob das dir helfen würde. Wenn es sein muss, dann hole ich halt das ganze Adobe-Portfolio. Hauptsache, wir kriegen das irgendwie für dich so leicht wie möglich oder für euch so leicht wie möglich hin. Sagt mir nochmal kurz, gib mir eine Rückmeldung. Stottert's oder ist alles in Ordnung? Ich sehe 10% Fehler, das ist relativ, also das ist noch okay, aber es sind 10 Nummer, ob alles in Ordnung ist. Okay, gut. Ja, es kommt auf die Features und die Umsetzung an. Hm. Gut, prima, danke euch. Weil, auf die Features und die Umsetzung, wenn wir jetzt zum Beispiel sagen, wir wollen da ein Quiz draus machen. Ne? Das hatten wir gesagt, dass das jetzt gerade eingefallen ist, dass wir ein Quiz machen zu jemandem, also dass er das erst irgendeine bestimmte Frage lösen muss, dass irgendwas sich öffnet. Das heißt, da kommt irgendwie eine Frage aufgeploppt, bums, und dann muss er die lösen. Kann unten die Wörter eingeben oder das eine Wort, um das Richtige auszulösen. Und wenn er es macht, dann gibt es Feuerwerk oder was auch immer und es öffnet sich. Wenn das jetzt zum Beispiel so ein Punkt ist, reicht dir das dann, wenn wir das beschreiben? Ich kann mir vorstellen, dass es relativ schwer ist für dich, wenn wir das einfach nur beschreiben. Und dann haben wir ja was im Kopf, was ja aber ganz anders bei dir im Kopf sein kann. Oder vielleicht gar nicht im Kopf, weil du sagst, kann ich mir gar nicht darunter vorstellen. Das meinte ich. So, wer ist Enrique? Ich kenne Enrique schon jetzt seit 1,5, 2 Jahren. Ein ganz toller, lieber Kerl. Ist in Deutschland tätig, aber war bis jetzt in einem Startup, wo eigentlich sowieso nur Englisch gesprochen wurde. Deswegen und er ist mit einer Amerikanerin verheiratet. Deswegen ist jetzt seine Notwendigkeit, Deutsch zu können, eher gering. Deswegen heute das Ganze auf Englisch. Ein super cooler Typ, ich weiß ganz genau, dass er richtig was drauf hat in dem Gebiet. Ich habe zum allerersten Mal davon überhaupt von ihm gehört. Also er hat mir zum allerersten Mal von dem Thema überhaupt erzählt. Und er hatte auch erst dieses Jahr sich in dem Bereich nochmal einen extra Kurs belegt. Also der weiß wirklich, wovon er da redet. Also am einfachsten wahrscheinlich, aber die schlechteste Idee wäre halt ein einfaches Videoformat. Und ich embedde es so, dass es natürlich nicht wie ein Video aussieht und man sieht alle Features einbauen, indem ich das Video abspiele, doppelt hin und her spule etc. Okay. Claudi, kannst du damit was anfangen? So, und weil jetzt alle da seid, nochmal ganz kurz, bevor ich jetzt mit dem Enrique in Gespräch komme, ganz kurz nochmal, oder wir insgesamt, Henry und ich, nochmal zu meiner Idee. Ich weiß nicht, wie es bei dir jetzt aussieht, gesehen und jetzt immer abends, dass wir nicht mehr ich sitze hier vorne, ich sitze hier vor der Kamera und erzähle euch irgendwas, was so passiert ist, sondern dass wir weiterhin 3 Streams machen, 2 davon arbeiten wir zusammen daran, zum Beispiel an der App-Design, und einen davon gebe ich die Updates, die neuesten Updates dazu, was so passiert ist die Woche, plus versuche ich immer noch jemanden als Experten dazu zu holen. Bin mir sicher, da gibt es immer irgendwas, was uns noch helfen könnte. Und Kolja, nochmal an dich. Ich habe jetzt in dem Zuge, dass ich Enrique das bereitgestellt habe, die ganzen, die XD-Datei, wollte ich ihm erstmal ein Foto davon schicken und habe hin und her gewürscht und so weiter und so fort. Ich habe nichts zerstört an der Datei, zuallererst, gute Nachricht. Aber ich habe gemerkt, wie gut du darin schon bist, weil es für mich schon schwer war, da hin und her zu zoomen und das hin und her zu wischen und näher reinzugehen. Also großes Kompliment an dich nochmal, dass du das schon so gut kanntest. Wir haben ja am Freitag das zusammen erarbeitet, da den aktuellen Stand. Und wenn ich da quasi sage, oh, ich würde es cool finden, wenn dann das und das ist, reinkommt, hast du innerhalb von 10 Sekunden oder sagen wir mal halbe Minute das reingesetzt gehabt. Großes Kompliment an dich. Ich würde da für das Ganze sehr viel länger brauchen. Oh, wie geil ist die Idee denn? Die hatte noch gar keiner. Oh mein Gott, die Idee ist ja grandios. Durchschütteln. Also ich hatte sie noch nicht. Bei mir kam sie noch nicht an, vielleicht hatte das noch irgendjemand. Aber überlegt euch mal, ihr schüttelt das, wenn das mit dem Handy ist, ihr schüttelt das und es macht vielleicht noch so Klimpergeräusche oder was auch immer so. Wie geil. Oh mein Gott, ist das geil. Oh, ich dreh durch. Genau. Danke, dass du es ansprichst, gesehen und sehr gut. Ähm, es, dabei, keine der Zeiten ist fest. Ich würde gerne nochmal, dass wir uns vielleicht kurz mal zusammenschließen und sagen, dass wir da nochmal abstimmen, welche Zeit für alle am besten passt. Meinetwegen auch unterschiedliche Zeiten, dass der eine da kann, der andere dort. Ähm, auch Claudia und ich sind noch nicht so richtig zufrieden mit der Zeit aktuell, weil immer nur ich das alleine machen kann, weil sie in der Zeit genau dann nicht kann. Ist scheiße, das gefällt mir nicht. Also können wir uns gerne auch zusammensetzen, gerne was regeln, dass wir vielleicht nachmittags streamen oder wie auch immer. Also dass wir eine gute Zeit finden. Okay, ich habe gerade gesagt bekommen, die Idee gab es schon. Claudia hatte schon die Idee. Ähm, dann tut es mir sehr leid, dass ich das bisher nicht, dass mir das jetzt erst aufgefallen ist. Finde ich grandios. So, jetzt will ich den Enrique nicht weiter warten lassen. Enrique, we are coming. Just give me 10 seconds. Und
Or,
warte. So,
of course. Hi, everyone. You're welcome. Happy to be here. Mhm. Yeah. Maybe I can just like introduce myself very quickly. I'm a product designer or UX designer, and I have worked for Chiron in that respect for a while. It's a company who works for refugees in an educational platform, and yeah, I basically work on the user experience of these platforms, right? So I deal with how the user is going to use something, not only how it looks, but how the interactions are. Oh, no, but you can either write them or I can open the stream, how you prefer. Ah, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Mhm.
can you hear me now? So. There's all microphones are on now. You should. Now, yeah, great.
Good.
Awesome. So, Enrique, because you know so much about this feature about UX design, I told them that you was the first person who told me anything about this. Before you, I didn't know anything. I didn't know this UX design even exists. And I remember that you showed me Amazon and told me, hey, here, have a look. There are like millions of products on Amazon, but it's so easy to find what you are looking for. And it was really impressive and for me, because I didn't know this thing is existing. So could you please just tell us what UX actually mean, what it is?
Yeah, so UX means user experience, right? So everything is about how the users are, well, experiencing your product, right? This is not only for digital products, it's what it's applied to usually, but it can mean anything, right? So it is a very big, I call it a spectrum, right? So between having an idea for a product and deciding who the product is for and what it should generally do, and the people who build the product, you have all this area in between that is about how the product should work, not only what it should do, but how people are using it, what kind of experience are they having, and if it's what you want to transmit. There are multiple analogies, but it's not only about how it looks, but how it feels, let's say, right? Yeah. So you can compare it to a car. You can have a car that is very ugly, but if it drives really well, then you don't care, really. You care that it drives really well. And the opposite is also true. If it's very beautiful, but it drives really poorly, then you're not that interested in that product anymore, right? So it's the same thing for basically anything, right? Yeah. If it makes you feel good, then you want to have or to use that product. That's what it is, basically.
Yeah. It's probably not even only with products.
Yes. I mean, well, you can use product for like anything, right? Okay. Like now the buzzword is I'm selling you an experience. Well, that's it. Yeah.
So you answered already the question from my next question. So why it is so important? So that's the point you said already. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it is important from a user perspective because then you are having a good time, having a good experience, enjoying using something. And it's important from the part of the people who build the product because they want their users to keep using the product. And if they are having a good time or doing what they want really fast, like the Amazon example that I mentioned before, that you mentioned before, then you want them to trust your product and come back to use it again, right? I remember that conversation with Amazon.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Great. So I'm completely on your side because I'm getting really angry when there are pages and I want to. There's a reason why I go on a page, and if I can't find the reason why I am there, that's makes me angry because then I said, why is it that is it so difficult to do? Is it for me to find the right thing? So that makes me angry.
I have an example from a very recent thing that happened to me. I was talking with my aunt and she just retired. So they have this in Spain, I think it's the government has this software where you can log in as a retiree and then do all your financing and stuff.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, great, you would say great, but it's not great because it's horrible. It's the worst. She called me like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to log in.
Yeah.
And of course, it needs to be secure, right? And
Yes.
safe and everything.
Yeah.
So they send you a letter with a code
Okay.
to request that code. It's already really difficult.
Okay.
So we tried for a long time,
Oh
2 weeks ago, and then it finally arrived. And we couldn't find where to log in.
Oh, okay.
So we spent like a couple hours already trying to figure it out. That's
And then even for retired people, so they they probably are not that IT near people. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
I mean, one would think so. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. I know people from Berlin who, when the Corona time on starting this year was the first Corona lockdown, and he's a freelancer and he tried to get the extra money from the state when you're a freelancer at the Corona time, and I was to helping him, and there was they built it like this, that when you go on the site you get you there's a row, you know what I mean, so like you see how many people are waiting before you,
yeah.
and you not just like fill out a form and then they work for it. Nine, you have to wait till your time is starting, and there were 99,800 and so on people before you.
Like,
And they said it probably needs 37 hours when you are in there. And then the point is, when it's your turn, then you have half an hour.
oh my God.
So actually, you actually have to wait this 37 hours, so you can't sleep because they said don't go away this time. So when your turn is on, then you have to be there. And,
I mean, in this case, I understand that maybe they built it really quickly because of the circumstances, right? The software was like built in a few days and like make it work and safe and so on. But if I log into something and it says there are 99,000 people in front of you, I'm like this. I really need to like want this thing that I'm having. But for example, if we talk user experience, that's a horrible thing to see, that you log into something and then you have to wait for a very long time. One way you could solve that to give a better experience to the people who need to log in for that is reserve your spot and we will let you know half an hour before, right? So then you get an alarm on your phone or they call you or something like that. So you don't have to be logged in or in the page all the time for the whole thing, right?
That's true. Yeah. Okay. The first question. The first question of our how's it called? Who can write the code. Coder, or what's the right name?
Developer, I think.
Developer, okay.
Software engineer is
he's asking you, how did you get into UX design? Did you study it? Are they free, good sources to learn it? Or better ask, how to become a UX designer?
Yeah, that's interesting because I was a software engineer myself, right? So I was a programmer in Belgium, working for a company, writing code and so on. And my users were people in the office, right? So that was my first, let's say, contact with what I understood to be user experience afterwards. Okay. They would come to me and say, I don't like how this works. And I'm like, okay, then what is the problem? And you talk to them because you need to solve that issue, right? You're already doing a user interview. That's one of the first things to do in user experience. You're trying to understand your user, what their problem is, how they use the software, and so on. Then I didn't want to be a software engineer anymore, so I studied graphic design. So that was like an intermediate step. So I studied with Kyron as a graphic designer. Okay. Then I moved into design the campus or the platform. And I realized that I did not understand our users. I didn't know what the users were looking for or which problems they were having. So I think the first thing I did was to sign to medium.com and then read about user testing, something like that. And actually to really learn user experience, I looked for user experience book recommendations, and I bought a couple books in the beginning. Then I did some YouTube courses, and I signed up with the Interaction Design Foundation in the end to learn more. But it's all self-taught. I think is the web has like tons of resources that are free, or you can read articles on medium.com. I definitely recommend, but you have UX Pin.
How's the name of this?
It's Medium. I can write it to you on in our chat. So it's medium.com. That's a really good website to get started, because people can write there, like articles and so on. You don't have to be an expert. So there's a lot of people who are sharing their own journey into UX, but there's people who are sharing also the resources they use, the courses they followed, or just basic introduction in the field. Okay. And I can send you, Paul, if you want, a list of book recommendations that I think are really good to just get started.
Chicho, is this interesting to you to get like book recommendations for this? I guess so.
But if you're, you can also sign up to courses with something like Career Foundry or the Interaction Design Foundation. I can also send that.
I said before in the announcement that you did a course this year already for this. Is it correct? Was it correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sending you this so you can then share it afterwards. So you can find this on the internet, and those are courses that you have to pay for, but that are really good.
So, okay, great. So, okay, we already talked about that you told me that you showed me Amazon. So my next question is do you have more like best practice experience? Because this is what we are doing with our design on the app, on our app. We look on other apps and look what is good for us, or what do we find a good way to do it.
Well, I don't have a list of my favorite websites, for example, right? But there are interesting things that you can find almost anywhere, right? So, like as a general advice, I would say if you're liking something that you're using, then pay attention to why is it make you feel good, right? Okay. Or the opposite, why does it make you feel bad, right? Yeah. But I really like the experience of medium.com. I think it's really well designed. It has things like highlighting text, seeing other highlights from other people, and so on. And I think it looks nice. Amazon is pretty good, even though it doesn't look nice, but the experience itself is nice.
You told me that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you said.
Yeah. It's like the card
really
from before.
Great, but it's easy.
Yeah, they are a lot of. So Amazon is very focused on what people can use easily, rather than how things look or if it looks pretty or not. But things like the one-click buy something, so you can buy something with just one click because you have saved your data from before and so on. That is a really good experience, because then you don't have to spend a lot of time in entering your data and so on. It also makes sense from a business perspective because it's so easy to buy it, and then you are practically telling people, buy my thing. So yeah, that's a little bit the dark side of all of this, right? I like the in Berlin. I don't know if you have it in other places. Is the BVG app? So they want to buy your tickets for the public transport.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be not that great, but they did a redesign of it, and now I enjoy using it. I mean, I'm not using it now because of Corona times, but before then it was pretty decent.
So the like the tram and so on in Berlin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know if you have it in other places, but you can save your tickets, for example, the most frequent ones that you use. So to buy one ticket is the one I use all the time, it takes me, I think, 3 clicks or something like that. And I don't have to look for anything. I don't get lost. Everything is, I think they put it in English too, but I can also use it in German, even though my German is not great. I don't have to read tons of things. When the controller is coming, I can just show my phone and they scan it and we're done. Yeah. We don't have to interact or anything. Yeah. It's really good.
Great. Awesome. Are there like, that was a question who's coming in my mind now, are there like general tips or general things we have to think about? You have to, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I know what you mean. Like, what is the general advice that I could give to make a good user experience?
Yeah.
So I think the best advice is talk to your users. So try to understand what the users are trying to use your product for or how they are doing it, right? So there's a lot of user testing. Test with users. There is an acronym and I forget, it's like get out of the office, I think it is. That means go in the street and approach somebody and say, do you have a few minutes? Can you try this thing? Try it with your mom, try it with your friends at the bar, or, stuff like that. That is really the best advice, because then you understand which problems they are having. And by talking with them, you know why they would use your product, right?
So that's even possible if you not started yet.
Yeah. I mean, you should do it every week, something like that, right? You should do it constantly, because there are two types of things that you can do. Is talk to your users to see the problems they are having with the product that exists already, right? You created something and people are not using it, right? So then you talk to them and try to figure out why not, right? Or suddenly there's a lot of people using it and you go like, I want to understand why people are using my product, right? To see how I can improve it. But you can talk to your users before developing something, also to see, to do market research. I mean, you already know this probably, like, is this a product that could work, right? But the interesting questions are how can it work, right? There are many different ways of doing things. So you want to know why this one is better than this other one, or how can I solve the problem that they have, or things like that.
Okay, problem they have. It's funny because you said it, and I even write it in English than in German.
Yeah. it's just easier
for me to write in English. Okay, there's there are more questions even already. Cool. Do you think for a startup it is sufficient enough to have a developer who self-taught UX design, or would you say a designed UX designer is necessary for a successful startup?
That is tricky because you have to balance budget and needs and so on. But I think somebody who takes care of the UX part of the whole thing is absolutely necessary. in the startup world, is usually the case that there is not enough funds to get all the people that you really need. But you do need if you can have a team of UX designers, that's the best thing, because you need people to, of course, to interview the users, to do user testing, to analyze that data and to extract conclusions. But you also need people who create the user flows. So in which way are the users going to go through your product? And you need people who design that so it looks good, right? So it's usually done by the same person, right? But it would be at least ideal to have two people, one who does the user flow, user interface design and all that part, and one person who does the user research on the other side.
Oh, okay.
It's because otherwise it becomes like a huge amount of things to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I think that most startup or many startups didn't care for this topic, or the topic is not on the top priority. And I think at the moment or at this time, it's so important to be good at this. So
the thing is that UX in the beginning was meant to be more like human-computer interface. So how do people interact with computers, right? So with your digital app and so on. But now what we call UX, I now call it product design, right? But UX is such a huge thing that it has like copywriters. So because if you don't understand the text that you're reading, or if it's poorly written, then that affects your experience with the product. You have interface designer, you have interaction designer, which is not the same as the interface. Is what happens when you click a button? Maybe there's an animation, for example, right? Something like that. So there are so many things that you can put under the umbrella of user experience that you can hire tons of people, right? But if you're the only person, I can recommend one book that helps giving an overview of all this. Okay. It's called the User Experience Team of One. And it's
user experience
Team of One is User Experience Team of One, I think is the name. Let me try to find it. Yeah, the User Experience Team of One is called. Yeah, this has, I bought this one in the beginning. It gives you an overview of all the techniques that you can do, or a lot of them. And if you can only do one thing because you're only one person, which is the best to do, right? To dedicate the time to. So it's a good introduction to the topic.
Okay, great. Thank you. Because you said when you click a button, you can start an animation. That could be. So I thought about, because our whole topic is about animation at all.
All right.
So what about if any buttons on our app, if you click any button, there starts first animation, like 2 seconds. So now I'm in the in a conflict, because in my opinion, it sounds like great. It's different to anything else. It's like an USP, but on the other side, it takes time. So is it good or not?
If you make a user wait 2 seconds for something to happen, you won't get any users left. It's like, don't do that. Because imagine every time you click a button, you have to wait for 2 seconds. Yeah. Like nowadays, we cannot wait like even half a second, right? So what I mean with these interaction animations is not like a GIF, for example, right? But it's you click the button and the button looks like it has been pressed, right? Or you click the button and then to download something, and then that button becomes the loading bar. Or all these kind of small interactions that are technically animated, right? But not every time you click a button, there is an animation. Unless it's something like Giphy, which is all about that, right?
Okay, then like not 2 seconds, like in half. But you say, but I get it. It's if they have to wait, it's shitty if they have to wait. Anyway.
There are these. So maybe an example could be, I don't know if it's Google Drive or it's one of those services like WeTransfer or something like that, where you upload a file and the file is being sent somewhere. So you put the file in the correct place, and then you click the button, and the button becomes like a rocket that goes up, right? And you can see the background going like whoosh. So that is telling you that it's uploading it and how far to go and so on. But it's the button like transforming itself in the thing. So that is an interaction. You have to wait, but it is that kind of small things like just touches in the end, right?
I just have a right example because I installed a new router. Is it called in English router as well? When you use the
router,
internet, just 1 hour ago, and it's finished, and I want to test the speed because of our stream because today I want to test it if it's all fine, and I used chip.de. It's really famous German site, and the site opens with speed test and so on, and then there was like a gray sign like on the car with the 20, 60, 40, 60, 80 and so on.
Yeah.
And in the middle it was gray as well, but you have to push the button in the middle that then it would start, and but I didn't get it that you have to push the button because it's the same color than all the gray around it. So I waited and said, "What shitty? What's that? Why is it not working? The internet is not working, or what's now?" And then it was like, okay, maybe I have to click here. But if they make it another color, it was so much easier for me to know. Okay, I have to click this one, then it would start. The test would start. So
definitely, yeah. There is a very famous book called "Don't Make Me Think." And and that is one of the. So this website made you hunt for the button and think, is this the button I have to click? So ideally, you wouldn't have to do that. Just be like, oh, big button in the center. So done. Yeah. No thinking.
Easy. But it was a completely same color like the other numbers and all the thing around it. So it was like just okay. It makes me angry that nothing starts, and I just clicked somewhere. Then it started.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that happens way too often, I gotta say.
Yeah. And it's even shipped. It's really big. It's a really big site in German. So could we have a look on our app so far, what we designed so far? And,
definitely.
I told them I gave you a picture of it in before our stream, and just let me open it. Come on. And now it's not working. It works before the stream. Okay, let me try this one. Okay, this one seems to work. No, it doesn't.
That's like the risk of live streaming.
Yeah. That's true. So make a quick picture and then I show the picture.
Yeah.
This should work. Yep, it does. So you don't have to see me. So that's the new status quo of our app, of our starting side of the app. So are there you now know what's our product, so around. What do you think about our starting side?
I gotta say, I don't see the picture. So you're not sharing it with me, but I have the one from before.
Give me a
so
second.
I have the one from before. It's fine. I just check that the stream is seeing the picture. Yeah. I don't know if they are. Yeah, so I did not do like a complete analysis of this. What was really interesting to me is not the picture that you sent, but it was more what you told me about the users. Yeah. So maybe we can start with the two different ways of using the platform that you told me about. And then we can take that and see how the app manages them, right? So you told me there are two types of user. So what you call the sloth, maybe it was the translation. The sloth, so the people who are just looking for a last minute thing, right? And then the other ones, like the power users who are looking for the gift, right? Yeah. That's the two big ideas, right? Yeah. So for the first type of users, the sloth, the lazy ones, I thought that they would need at least three things, right? So if you're looking for a last minute thing that you want to do very quickly, what you need is a template. It's pre-made stuff, right? Because then I don't need to spend any time in doing any research. I just have a gallery with a lot of templates, and I just pick one, and I quickly add my text, and I'm done, right?
It's about 2 clicks and finished.
Yeah. So you could make a template that you can customize, right? Maybe you can have pre-made templates that you can choose, and that's it. But then you can change them a little bit. So change the color or do something like that. So it can be personalized, but minimally, right? And then like add some text for like a happy birthday or whatever occasion it is. But then you're done in like 3 minutes. You don't need more, right? Okay. So that's the starting point for this kind of users, right? So then you have to think about what does that mean? That means that you need a gallery that you can scroll. That means that you can search for something, right? So that you already have in the app that you sent. In the picture that you sent, you have a search button, and then you have thematic gallery, so the categories. So that's already really good. Yeah. And then I don't know what the part in the middle does, the animationen. I guess that would be like a. Sorry.
I can tell you if you like.
Yeah, please.
Okay, the search button. Third thing, then there's only a picture. What's the next one is only a picture. What's the status? What's now? So like Christmas, and the next one are the most favorite animations.
Okay, yeah. So is the top. So in this case, if we apply the user needs to this, it would be the top templates. Yeah. Right. So that would be like a quicker way of finding what people like the most. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Fantastic.
That's good. And the big pictures are like special situations, like Halloween, birthday, and so on.
If you think how it works in real life, if you go to Rossmann, for example, I think they sell this in Rossmann. If you go to Rossmann or them or whatever, and you see all the different cards, they are separated in categories. That's a metaphor people already understand.
That's
so awesome. This is great.
Awesome tip to have a look, to go to like Rossmann or something and have a look what's What categories do they have?
Yeah, as well. Yeah, I mean, you're basically mimicking the offline experience of somebody going to a shop, right?
Awesome.
So they're already used to this. They don't have to think about it, right? The picture with the Christmas at the top, I would make it do something. So maybe you can have specific offers for Christmas, or maybe it's you hit on Christmas and it's like the top Christmas templates or ideas or something like that, right? Then I see at the top that you have like home, editor, the shop, and so on. What do you need a profile for? That's I saw that there is mein Profil, right? Why would I sign into the app, right? That's a question. Why do I need a profile to use this?
Good question.
So you don't have to tell me because that's something just to think about. But so that's the first question that you should always ask in user experience is why, right? Okay. Why does the user do this? Why do they click
one reason for it, because we want to sell the vouchers about in this app as well. If they like there's two possibilities. There's one, they can send it with their own vouchers, then they probably have to pay like 50 cents for the animation. And if you use if you buy it in our app, then you don't have to pay it for this, so it's free.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's like premium. All the premium stuff you get then free. There's free stuff for all of them. Like the easy animations and easy things are free for everyone, but the premium stuff is only if you buy it there or if you pay like 50 cents. Or
cool. Okay. My point was like just think about what's going to be there, right? So if you have a profile, then maybe you can sell buy 50 vouchers for a discount or stuff like that. And then you can come back through the year and be an extra sloth, right? So then you told me about the jet propulsion or like the power user, right? So this user is compared to the other one way more involved in the gift process, right? So what do they want? They want to make the perfect gift, right? So for that you need something like a customizer. I think it's what you call editor here, right? So for that is just customize everything that you can think of, right? The color of the background, upload your own pictures, write the text in different fonts, add these emojis to it, all these kind of things, right? So for that, what do you need to have there? Is it like a video game, for example, where you can customize all the strength and the agility and my helmet and my color of hair and all this kind of stuff? Those are like really good customizers, right? And you see the image in the right that like twists and so on. So that's something I would make, like a very friendly customizer with tons of options, right? So you can apply a template and then customize everything if you want, right? So how do you separate the two kinds of users? You can have an editor, but you can also, in that editor, go to the advanced editor, right? So then you are not scaring people away who only want to do like a template and that's it. And then you keep or you engage the people who want to customize everything, right? So the advanced editor idea is a really good one. And then you can have like a preview of the gifts. You can compare maybe different creations. You can save them if you have a profile, for example. And then you can come back and say like, I like this one, but it is for my my father who is older, for example. So I'm gonna use not so bright colors, or whatever it is, right? So you need to be able to upload your pictures. You need to have all these different things, right?
So your recommendation is that, or your hint is, if you that we don't have to get all the profile from people who would just want to do some easy stuff, and only if you do like really big stuff, stuff where you have to buy things, then you can get for the profile. And before this,
not really. No. What I meant with the compare things and be able to save is that if you have a profile, then you can save your own things, right? But maybe me as a power user, I also want to do like a quick template because I forgot our anniversary or whatever, right? Like I want to do like a quick thing. What I mean is have the basic use of the app, for example, like the choose a template, add some text, do a little bit of customizing maybe with a color, and that's it, right? So you could do that for free and then have the power users unlock the advanced editor, for example. That would be something interesting for them, right? Something that adds value to subscribing to the platform, for example. But then for the users who are using the advanced editor, I would let them customize everything, all these crazy ideas that you can have, maybe animations or maybe stickers or longer messages or different fonts or all these things. I would make them available from the basic editor. So the basic editor can open up if you want by clicking the advanced editor option, right?
Okay. I get it. And I remember on eBay, don't know the English name, eBay Kleinanzeigen, it's German.
Yeah, that's fine. I know that.
So you're not logged in. When you started, you're not logged in. So you can easily look at all this stuff and so on. But if you want to write somebody or whatever, you have to log in.
I mean, something that you can do here is with a lot of, I think, shops for different things where you have, so imagine if you're a last minute kind of user, right? You can go on the app and then you see that you have 5 different templates, right? But you see there are more, but they are locked, for example. That's if you want to monetize this kind of use, right? But what I mean is if you are looking for the gift, right? But you are not registered yet, you see that there is an advanced editor, right? So you can spend a lot of time really editing the things, but it's only available if you register. That's more of a marketing thing than a user experience thing, right? But it would be that way. What I mean is, if you put the advanced editor already available for everyone, then the people who are just looking to select a template are going to be scared because it's too much, right, for them. So what I would do is just have the basic for everyone because everyone can use that one, even the power people. And then have the other one only open up after doing something. You click on advanced editor or something like that. That's more of an experience question than the other one.
So there's a question, there are many questions. So the question is, you think the basic editor should be our start screen, or there should be at least a big button in the start screen to go there?
Yeah, I think what you already sent me with the search button, the top things and the categories is really good.
Okay.
Because that is already leading me to a template at the end of that, right? So I don't have a gallery of templates. I just have something that helps me find one, right? But you have the editor already accessible in the menu at the bottom, right? So it's just one click more. Like I just, editor. So I click there and then I access the editor, right? Or you can navigate the categories and then select a template and then you are taken to the editor. So there are different ways of getting to the same place, right?
Okay, yeah, and there's but we can insert the authentication as a last step before buying, so you can create everything before without an authentication. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but in that case, I will make it clear that if you are not registered, some of the options won't be available at the end unless you register.
So they are not afraid. They are not angry at the end, quite.
Exactly, yeah. So you don't spend a lot of time making something and then at the end you have to buy the thing, right?
Yeah.
You feel cheated in a way, right? Yeah. If you make it clear from the start, then you already know when you start the process that you will have to register if you choose certain things. Yeah.
Okay. Kolja, could you please repeat the question from the beginning? You asked me twice something about the app, and now it's the right time for this. So there's, but you already answered. You should just select a template, and then if you select one, the editor starts. What do you think about? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's the other way of getting to the editor, right? For example, here you have Halloween, so you select Halloween, then you have a few templates there. I select one, and then I say, instead of Happy Halloween, which is already pre-written, I write Happy Halloween POW, right? I add something there. And then that's the editor already. I have selected one, I'm taken to the editor with that one, and then I can modify it. That's pretty good.
Okay, great. The question was, whether a new tab on the bottom or the 3 stripes in one corner are better to go to the profile and to the settings.
Yeah, that's one of the big questions. the three stripes is called the hamburger menu.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a hamburger. Yeah. So there are problems with that menu, right? It's already a standard, but for people who are not very used to technology, it's hard to understand, right? So you should have menu, the hamburger and the word menu in there. Yeah. But that's just usability things. Yeah. I think you only have a few options, right? So you have the home, the editor, the shop, then one that says tab 4. So I guess you can get rid of that one. And then my profile. So for that small number of options, you don't need a menu. You don't need a whole menu that opens, because why would you have it? I mean, you don't need to have that. You have the menu at the bottom.
So your opinion is like instead of the stars, there's one of this point.
I mean, I think that's fine. The menu at the bottom, that's good. It's easy to access with your hands, and you don't have a lot of options, so that's already decent. That is, if you add more things to it, or if you need to add more things like the impressum, for example, or contact details or stuff like that, and it becomes too much for that, then I would definitely add a menu. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, our core people who we want to reach to are 24 till 30, 25 till 35. That's what our test was the solution of our test, or the result of our test. So people in this age should be able to know what a hamburger menu, that this one is a menu.
That's a very good thing to discuss.
Okay,
that's not true. That's not true at all. No, why? No, that's not. You're just assuming that everyone in that age bracket is similar to you, but that's not true.
Okay.
Right. Okay. maybe what happens with people who can't afford a smartphone or couldn't afford a smartphone before, and they just got their first one, for example. Maybe they are not as used to using one as other people, right? Or maybe they worked in a remote village and didn't have access to technology, or maybe they just couldn't afford one, or things like that, right? So I guess you're pretty safe with saying like they should know what this is. But if you make it easier, then they don't have to think about it.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So yeah,
that's what we want to reach. So our thing is they don't have to think about it. Okay. Yeah,
but maybe this is a good moment to talk about something that I wanted to mention, which is accessibility and inclusivity, right? What do those words mean? Inclusivity is making everybody feel talked to by your product, right? So it has things like gender and race and all these different topics, but also it contains accessibility, which is people who maybe are dyslexic, or people who are colorblind, or people who use it with like a screen reader and stuff like that, right? So these percentages of people who use the app or the product are really high, like in 10%, 15%, those might be your users, right? So if you make it easier for them, then everyone benefits, right? So in this case, if you add the word menu to the hamburger, you are making it easier for literally everyone, all of your users, 100%.
Yeah.
So even if you think that it would be enough doing something, it's just better to keep your options, to like make it easier for them.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, great. I had a big question right now, and I forgot it. Let me drink something then.
If not, you can read one from the people who are watching.
But then I have to scroll a lot. In my opinion, most of them are answered already. This was so important, the question I had. Okay, yeah, I remember.
Good.
Because one of our big points is that you can use our product for buying, for sending wooshes to, is it called wooshes? I don't know the name, to other people, but also to just send like a message.
Yeah.
So we think this thing can go rival. Is it rival? So like many
rival.
people use it. Yeah.
Viral.
Viral.
Yeah. Viral. Yeah.
Because now the emoticons are used a lot at this time, and that's one step further. So if they go to our starting page, how is it possible to make it that much easy to, if you want to write just like the message and make this message in an animation? So that has to be so really easy, like if you like using 10 seconds for this.
Yeah, but it's basically the same product. I don't see a difference in the two products, right? So because basically the gift voucher idea, so the gift that we mentioned in the beginning, that's basically just an animation with a message and some voucher attached to it, right? So it can be money, or it can be partnering with a business or something like that. If you take that voucher out, you have a message that is animated.
Yeah, true.
It's the same product,
Yeah, it's
right?
true. Yeah.
So what you can do is design or just have a category that is just messages, or maybe that's your starting point, and then you have like a 3-step process where you select a message, add a voucher, and then check out. Or from the first step, that is just make a message, then you can just skip the second one and then just check out, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. True. Okay. Where should be the menu be located then? On every screen, in one of the top corners, or on a different location, like only on in the start screen?
I would have the menu everywhere because then it's easy to navigate the app. I wouldn't remove it from anywhere, unless you have something like the checkout thing with a big X in the top where you can just start the process and then exit the process. You don't need the menu through the process necessarily. But there are, another principle is like don't reinvent the wheel, right? So there are standards for this. You have the menu at the bottom that is becoming now more used, I believe. Yeah. And then you have one of the top corners. I think the one that is easiest to reach if you're a right-handed person is the top right? Yeah. So, but then if you're left-handed, then it's the opposite. So I think the bottom one is for the small options that you have is the best idea. Otherwise, I would just have it on in the top, I don't know, top left or top right. This doesn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. How would you imagine to put in the whooshar or text or photo? Is this question clear enough? Because there was another question from how would you communicate that there is the possibility to send totally different things like text or photo or video?
But then, so I think that's a more complex question than it seems. So, for example, in the different categories that you have, right? We have Halloween here with the picture, so let's go with that one.
Yeah.
If you open the Halloween category,
yeah.
What do you see? Do you see a gallery of templates?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because then in that gallery, you can indicate this is a video, or this one is a GIF, or this one is just text with an image, right? Yeah. And then you can filter out. So, for example, one of the food delivery apps like Liferando, for example, right? In the top, you have like a pizza and hamburger and Thai and Korean and all these different things, right? So you can have video, animation, or message, for example, and then you filter out, or you select just the one you want, right?
That's good.
Or you can see all of them, and then you indicate in each one of them what they are. So you can say, this one is a video, or this one is a GIF, or this one is just message, and you select those templates, right? You can do it with icons, or you can do it with text, or both. Both would be best. And then once you click on it, you can you see what it is. Or maybe you can have one template that can be the three things. You can send a video, or you can send that video as a GIF, an animation, or things like that. It depends how customizable it would be. Right?
There was explained for the first question. First question was, would you imagine to put in the whooshar or text or photo? And the second, and now first question means how you would design the upload.
The upload of an image, for example.
I still
right?
don't get it.
Well, it depends if you're in the phone or in the desktop, right? There are different ideas for that. So in the phone, then you need something that has two different options. One is take a picture, and the other one is select from a gallery. your gallery of pictures, right? So then if you have upload picture, so let's imagine you have a button right here that you press. It's the upload button for a background, for example, right? So you click the button and then you have two options. One is open the camera and the other one is select from gallery, for example. Or you have two different buttons. One that is take a picture and the other one is add a picture. Right? So it kind of depends on how crowded the screen is, for example, or if you want to have the different options grouped, right? So, for example, if you have the text one and you click on the text button, then it opens with the different fonts that you can have, for example, something like that.
Hat es deine Frage beantwortet? Ich glaube nämlich schon, ne? Okay, great.
But something I can add to that question is just make both things and try with users, because they're going to tell you which one works better, right? If you have the button that opens and then has two different options, and you give the phone to your grandmother, maybe she doesn't know she doesn't figure it out, right? And then, well, that's not your target people, but maybe you give it to somebody and they don't know what the icon that you chose means, or they cannot figure it out. Then you have to go with a different thing, even if you like that one, right? If you have the two buttons and you tell somebody, all right, now add a picture that you have in your gallery as the background, and they don't find it, then you need to make it clearer. Or if you say, take a picture and put it as background, and everyone goes to the select picture from gallery, that's not what you want. So maybe it's not clear, it's confusing, right?
Okay. This answered the question. Thank you. There was a thank you. Try is great. A/B testing sounds like music for my ears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about our color? That's a question for me, because that was the thing we discussed from our last expert, and now this was the solution.
Okay. You mean the purple?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it could be the start. So I think that it could be problematic for people who are colorblind, right? Because it has blue and it has red. That's what makes it purple, right? Yeah. So that could be complicated. I know somebody who doesn't see purple. But all in all, it's fine. It's fine because the things that I see mostly are white, right? I think the purple is a little too vibrant. It's maybe a little too much, right? Okay. So maybe using purple, use maybe as an accent, for example. Is it Telecom, I think, uses magenta, right? That's a very vibrant color.
Yeah.
But they are very careful with it because it's so vibrant, so like shocking that you cannot use it, like everywhere, like so much.
There's much more red in it.
As well, yeah. But it has a lot of impact, right? So again, if you just ask the users, they will tell you, like, I hate the background. I love the app, but I hate the background. You're like, maybe we should rebrand,
Yeah, but
but it's fine. I think the main problem would be how it interacts with all the pictures that you have.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. But because the advice from the expert was more like an orange type background, but.
Let me do a quick search because about the psychology of color.
Yeah, we did that last with the export.
Oh yeah, and
but now there's another one. What do you think about white background? It's a question to you.
About white background?
Yeah, white background.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, now a lot of or there was a trend recently about minimalism, right? So there is nothing wrong with a white background. I mean, Google has a white background.
Yeah, I love
And
Google's style. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So there is nothing wrong with that. You can use the purple, for example, in a white background to accentuate something like the menu that you have selected, right? So everything is black, but then you have a bright purple selected option, or things like that. Or doing the opposite, I think white is a perfectly good background. With a caveat. So like I wouldn't make it like the pure white.
Did you say ecosia?
A caveat.
What's that?
It's like this. It means like a exception or something like that. Like that.
Okay.
It means like this, but a little.
But okay.
You know, yeah. But now I forgot what we were talking about.
About white background.
Oh yeah. So using pure white and pure black have these. So that combination makes the letters difficult to read because it vibrates, right? Like if you put red and green together next to each other, in the line between them, it kind of like vibrates. It's difficult to look at, right? Yeah. So don't use pure black, for example. If you cannot, if you can use also not pure white, that's also maybe for the background is a more calming thing.
I don't get it why many software use like black version of their software. I don't get it. Like Discord is also doing it. I don't like it. It's not just
the dark mode, you mean?
Yeah, isn't it?
Okay. It is good for using the phone in darkness when it's like from your bed before going to sleep or things like that, or in a crowded space like I don't know, it's nighttime or something like that. Then it's pretty good.
But I don't want to sleep when I use
software. I know. Okay. It started happening with YouTube. Now it has like a dark mode as well when it's dark, and I also not a big fan. No.
Okay, white background with purple accent, I think would be perfect. The next.
I was reading about, so I found this color psychology in UX design. I'm going to send you the.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Here, like the link. So for things like the gift thing that we're talking about, you have things like red, orange, or yellow are more like excitement and sociability, or creativity and happiness of yellow, right? And then purple is more of a royalty, luxury, ambition, and so on, right? But I don't dislike the purple, but you should definitely try with different colors when everything else is ready to see if it communicates what you want to communicate.
Yeah, that's a problem because we thought in our logo, the color should be in our logo. So if we just try it when it's finished, our logo should be finished as well, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay, there's more. Okay, I'm alone with my opinion. Dark mode is awesome. Dark mode is the only right mode. So it's.
I know there are hard feelings with it. There is like a clash between the things. I think some apps look good or some products look good in dark mode, and some others don't. For example, if Google were black, I would feel different. I would be like,
probably,
maybe this is too much, you know. But other ones like Slack is pretty good, I think, in dark mode, or Spotify is dark everywhere, and I really like it. So it depends a little bit on the thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Just it's not a topic, but I want to know it, and if I don't ask you now, I forget it. Where is your camera situated? Because it looks like you look to me right the whole time, and my camera is now I look to camera, and now you see, okay, I look to you, but if I look on the screen, you don't see you see me looking down. How is it possible?
Yeah, I don't know what you're really using. My camera is like on the laptop, so it's like right there, right in front.
Okay.
The thing is, I'm leaning back a little bit. So when I look at you, also your face is like right here. When I look at you, it also looks like I'm a bit further away from the camera.
Okay.
I think that's the main
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to have one OFC. What means OFC? If we do a white background. My Google is black. Same for my Google. The next one. Same. And the next one is same as well.
I think I have to say that I said how I would feel.
Okay. I never ever tried Google in black mode, and I probably
I don't think I have either. No.
will didn't will no don't will okay of course OFC means of course we need to have of course dark mode. Okay, we need to have dark mode of course. Okay, it's a personal how's it called, personal, if you like something personal, you know.
Sorry?
If you like it personal or not. Everything I can get in dark mode, I make it in dark mode. Okay.
And that's pretty good. So the thing here is to have options, right? So you can change between dark mode and better mode.
Yeah, but then but that means that we should have the background in white and in black as well. So these both. And Claudia said if we make it in white, the categories are really colorful as well. So there probably are so much color in it, so that if you have a color on the background, it's even too much probably.
That's what I meant. That you have the colors interacting with each other, right? Yeah. So if the categories are very colorful and you have a colorful background, then it would be probably clashing in some way, right? Mm-hmm. If you have it white or black, that's a different thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's they are more neutral. It's like when you are making an outfit with things like white and black combined with everything, and the other colors are more problematic. Mm-hmm. But I think what is really important is the contrast. So the things are easy to see, right? So that would be priority number one. And it's easy to do with white and black. So
there's another pro for black. A dark background would highlight the colors even more. Okay. Okay.
It depends which colors. I mean,
the awesome thing is that we are a community who the people decides, like most of them decide. So if I prefer white and all of them decide we have to use dark, then dark is the right thing.
That's good. I would use both and give the user the opportunity to switch between them. But that's
okay. Okay.
I think I feel like I have to say that I'm not against dark mode.
Okay. Last question for me. Are there any hints you can give us for keep on creating on this app?
What to do next, or something like that?
What you have to care about, and something like this.
Well, I think the thing I like the most of all the things that you told me is the two different users that you have. Like I mentioned before, I think you have that pretty clear, and that is really, really good, right? So what you can do is try to use the app as those users, or try to find those users that you can test with, right? I think that would be something important to do. but basically what I would try to do is create the simplest version of your product. So go for the people who are looking for a last minute gift with the templates that you can edit, and with a gallery where you can choose from, and with the option to upload your own pictures and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And then from that one, make the customizable, like the advanced editor, right? So where you can take those templates and then change everything in them. So I don't know, the stars are pointy or the stars are curved, like the corners. Or if I upload the picture, does it have a shadow or not? I don't know. As many options as you can think, right? Yeah. So I would have that and then add the other thing on top of it. I think that's the way I would suggest do that. Great. So because you can also launch with a last minute gift kind of thing, and then release the pro version, right? Something like that.
Oh, okay. Is there, because of your answer, there's one more question. Is there like in software or something else where we can ask people what's the right way? Nothing like go on the street and ask them on the street, because that's inefficient, you know. So to ask more people in shorter time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have an idea for this?
I know you can find online people who would find users for you who can test. I think you have to pay for that though. You can share a prototype with Adobe XD. You can make a clickable thing with Adobe XD that you can send to people. Now everybody is on their computers because of this Corona situation. So you can do a Zoom call. They can share their screen on Skype.
Yeah, but there are only people I know. I mean, like where we can talk, where we can ask 2,000 people in short time, for example.
I don't have a good answer now.
Okay, that's not a problem.
I think there are services who would have users for you and do user testing for you, but that's paying. Other thing you can do is just recruit users in social platforms.
I know sites where you can ask where you can make like a form and ask people who have an account on this form software. What do you think about it? So that was my.
You can have like a beta version kind of thing. So you have a test version out, right? And then people can sign up for it. And then you will give them access. And they agree to fill in a form after that, or just to help you with it. So that would be a way to go, right? Okay. But for that, you need to have something already
What
there.
You maybe not know is, do you know instant apps, and the Apple version is clip apps?
No, I don't know.
Because it's I don't know why it's not famous. It's like a small version of your app. It's like 10 MB, I think, version. So it's download. If you click on the link, you downloaded it, and then you play like one level. That's how they describe it. You play one level, and then if you like it, you can download the whole app. And this is the instant app from Google is starting on 2017, 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And most of them didn't use it, and that was our idea to use this. So if you send to somebody like one gift, or one message, so he can try this one level, also only this small thing, and if he likes it, he download the whole app. If he don't like it, the app delete it by herself. So he never ever have his have this app on his app. So that's what our try, and so we can share this to other people to try it. So it was
But I mean, you can just install and uninstall the app, the whole thing, right? So I'm trying to think, if you send people the link to download the app, it could also be the whole thing, right? Not just a small version.
Yeah. But if you get a message, imagine you get a message from a friend. You get a message from a friend on your mobile phone, and there's a link on it. And he said, and there's a message, click on it, I have a message for you, for example. And you click on it, and then there comes a sign, you have to download the app for looking on it. Would you do it? Most of them.
I see what you mean. Yeah. You can, So you need the app to see the message.
No, you don't. But if you do it, like you need the whole app to see it, then you probably wouldn't do it a lot. But if you know the people really good, then you know, okay, it's fine. There's nothing like spam or something like this, so you can download it. But it's only if a small version. You don't have to download the whole app. Just to click on the link, then you would do it probably.
If it's only to try it, I don't.
Yeah.
I think I would only do it if I needed to send somebody a present or a message or something like that. If I didn't have that need, I wouldn't. Maybe that's why people didn't download the other ones, because they didn't need to use them, right?
Imagine you get a message, and you click on the link, and there's coming like who's a good. Do you like football? Spanish football?
Yeah.
Good. For example, it's oh come on, give me one Spanish. I know a lot, but don't come to my mind.
Like a football team, like Barcelona or Real Madrid,
just a good
or
footballer. A Spanish good footballer.
Like a team or what?
No, just one person.
Oh, one player.
Yeah, one player.
Oh yeah, okay. Sergio Ramos is probably the most famous.
That was the person I think about, but we didn't get the name. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably the most famous right now.
Sergio Ramos, and he used Sergio Ramos as an animated who said, that was my camera, because I click. Okay. And Sergio Ramos told you, like in a small whatever. I like you much, whatever, from a friend. And you think, oh, that's so cool. I want to send this message also to another friend, Spanish friend, for example. So, is anyone seeing us? No. Oh my God, what's now happened? So, are you there again?
Yes, I'm still here.
Don't know if anyone else is here. So. Seht ihr uns noch? Great. Yeah, they are still. Okay, we are still.
Okay, good.
Yeah, my
good.
Camera just falling down. That never happens before. It did now.
It's fine.
So, wouldn't it be nice if you say, "Oh, that's great." If you think, okay, I want to send this message again to another person. And then there's a question. If you download the whole app, you can send this again to another person, for example.
I mean, you could, I guess. if I receive a message like that and I think to myself, hey, I have somebody I can send this message to, for example, then I would consider it definitely. But if I don't feel that need, then I probably won't. You know what I mean? So if I have birthday coming up, for example, and I'm like, oh, this is a nice thing, a nice idea, and I could use it. But it's probably a good thing that I can remember that. So that I remember the name of the app, or that I remember that somebody sent me something that I liked some time ago, right? Because it's strange. I don't have every day the need to send a present to someone.
No, not just right? Present. It's a message as well, you know.
Oh yeah, the message. I think it still applies. So, is it a messaging app like Telegram or WhatsApp or something like that?
Yeah.
I see. Then probably I'm older, so I'm more comfortable with the ones that I already have. But I think younger people would probably be more willing to try new things. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it is how it is, you know.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
I mean, I have recently installed Telegram, I think.
Yeah.
Only because I needed to send a big file to a friend who was on Telegram, but I wasn't. So I know people who have had Telegram for years, but I've never installed it before I needed to send a big file. Because I have everyone in a different platform already, which is WhatsApp, right? So that's the one I use all the time.
Yeah.
However, when I was younger, I did try a lot of stuff with my friends. We installed everything, and eventually we settled in something, right? So if you're targeting younger people, then sure.
Okay.
I would do something like if you install it, then you have like 5 things for free, or you can try the advanced editor for a couple of weeks or stuff like that. Yeah.
So I promise last question for me. Because we now talked about what should we consider, how should we keep going, and so on. Are we allowed to contact you again if the thing is almost done and ask you what do you think about it?
Definitely, yeah. I'd be happy.
Oh, great.
To give you my opinion, of course.
Great. So that will be on, I hope it will be on January, and then we can talk again. Thank you very much.
That'd be really nice.
Is there any question in the chat? Then now go for it. So at this time I can tell you thank you very much for this much hints, for this much knowledge you gave us or you shared with us. I wrote down a lot of things. There were a lot of questions that mostly means okay, people want to know more of you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question.
Cool.
Enrique, thank you very much. When the app is ready, I will send you the most fabulous Digi present. Okay.
That's so nice. Thank you already.
Okay, there's one guy. That's a mean question actually, but you have to go through it. Would you use would you use our product just personal interest? Go for it.
Would I use your products?
Yeah.
So at this time, I don't think so, because I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. If you make a cool product, then yeah, if it's the coolest thing around, sure. I'm just kidding. Again, it's like I was saying at the end, if I have that need, then yes, for sure. Yeah. So if now, especially that everybody's in their houses, for example, and it's difficult to meet people and so on, I'm more likely to use it than if I can, see everyone all the time, for example, personally, right? So if I can send something cool to somebody I care for or I care about, that yes, sounds cool. Sounds like a good idea.
And even if you're not like it that much at the moment, it's our how's it called? Our
intention, goal.
Intention. Thank you. Our intention that you say on January. Okay, I have to remind my first answer. Now I would use it. That's my goal.
Nice.
So
yeah.
it's even better to say no, I wouldn't. Then I'm like a guy who say, okay.
I gotta say that I know people who would enjoy receiving that. For example, my mom would enjoy receiving something nice like this. So maybe I can do that for her. So yeah.
There's another answer. Thank you for the nice talk. Really appreciate it. We are ready to take off in a higher level. I hope. Yeah.
Yes, good. Yeah. Happy to hear.
Thank you very much, Enrique.
Of course. Looking forward to the next time we talk.
It's my. I will for sure contact you when we get further to our app, and you will one of the first person who get personal digi present from me.
Nice, thank you.
And not only from me, how I see. Yeah.
Nice, thank you so much. It was very nice being here, part of this conversation. And good luck, and keep your users in mind.
There's one more. Actually, I read an article last week which said people are not buying what they have a demand for; they are buying what they want to have. It was an article, I guess, and the conclusion was you should make commercials relying on this information. Okay.
Yes, but that's more marketing than user experience. So I can recommend another book, just the last one, called Hooked. And that's how to make people get hooked in your product. So keep coming back and using it, right? And that's not from a mean, dark pattern kind of way where you create a need and then find the users to fill it. It's more of a, how do I make my product interesting so people want to come back? And that is more of an intrinsic motivation. If you create a commercial, then you are telling people that if you buy this, you'll be happy. If this kind of marketing tactics that I'm, not that happy with, but I see the need for. So yeah, you can sell your product in a lot of ways, but you will keep your users if your product covers a need that they have.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Enrique.
You're welcome.
It's your Sunday evening, and you even spent this with us. I can't find words to say thank you. Really, really, really much appreciated. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I was happy really to be here.
So see you on January.
Yeah.
I guess we hear from each other earlier then. So have a nice evening still.
You too. And bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So, und euch alle. Ich hoffe, euch hat es gefallen. Ich fand es wunderbar, wirklich grandios. Ich gehe mal wieder hier aufs andere. Da fehlt wieder das Bild. Dann lasse ich es so. Es war so, wie ich es mir erhofft hatte und so, wie ich es auch gedacht hatte. Großartig von ihm. Er hat auch zugesichert, wie ihr es eben gemerkt habt, dass er nochmal sich das anguckt. Ich glaube, da können wir auch später dann noch viel lernen davon, viel damit unsere App verbessern. nochmal an euch den Hinweis, ich würde gerne, warte mal, jetzt hat er mir noch gerade geschrieben per WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Ich würde mich freuen, wenn wir uns am Mittwoch wiedersehen oder am liebsten noch, wenn wir quasi, ich mache nochmal eine Diskussion dazu auf über Discord, wenn wir da uns dazu reden, wann wir zweimal die Woche uns treffen, um einen Arbeitsstream zu machen, also wirklich da, wo wir daran arbeiten, dass wir den Chichurita oder denen, die dafür programmieren, ist ja nicht nur Chichu, dass wir da im Januar wirklich was so fertig hinlegen, dass der sagt, geiles Ding, das Ding kreiere ich euch in 2 Wochen und dann können wir loslegen. Ich glaube wirklich, dass wir das hinkriegen, dass wir das auch gut machen können. Und ich glaube auch wirklich, dass es an sich spannend ist, wie wir daran arbeiten. Und wie viele von euch, nur mal eine kurze Frage, wie viele von euch haben schon mal in ihrem Leben eine App kreiert? Das dürften jetzt nicht, ich schätze, also ich habe es noch nicht. Ich habe schon einiges gemacht in meinem Leben, aber das habe ich noch nicht. Und deswegen wäre das doch ganz, ganz coole Sache, wenn ihr da mit dabei seid. So, jetzt noch mal kurz durch. Ich hatte irgendwas überlesen, wie ich gerade gesehen habe. Ja, habe gerade können ja in 2 Wochen so nochmal darauf zurückzukommen. Ich weiß nicht, ob du es überlesen hattest, Paul, deswegen sage ich es nochmal, aber ich fände es gut und auch hilfreich, einen 100% App-Designer mal als Experten dazu haben, mit dem man eine ganze spricht und reicht da auch noch ein zweiter. Okay, das ist wieder quasi die Aufgabe an mich. Ich werde das hinkriegen, ich verspreche es. Ich werde einen App-Designer dafür organisieren, dass wir nochmal vielleicht nächsten oder übernächsten Sonntag darüber sprechen mit jemandem, das kriege ich hin. Ich habe 2 im Kopf und das kriege ich hin, ich verspreche es euch. Können wir dafür in Discord nicht einfach mal ein Excel-Dokument aufmachen mit Stunden und Tagen, wo jeder sagen kann, Namen eintragen, selbe Überschneidung direkt. Und an Slack. Ja, also der Hinweis an alle, es gibt ein Slack-Ding, da ist alles ganz schnell ausgetauscht. Wo wir, wer Slack noch nicht kennt, kann es kurz durchlesen. Es ist ganz einfach und ganz easy, können wir da, ist wie WhatsApp, irgendwie nur noch umfangreicher, können wir da austauschen. Es ist wie eine Mischung zwischen WhatsApp und Discord eigentlich. Leider nicht, habe ich auch noch nicht. Was habe ich denn gesagt? Wo ihr beide so sagt. Bin durcheinander. Ich weiß nicht mehr, was ich da gesagt habe, wo wir so drauf eingehen. Also wäre es schön, wir dann nochmal so abstimmen, wann passt das, wann können wir einen Stream machen, wo wir dazu reden, danke. Nein, ihr habt noch keine App gemacht. Siehst du? Ich auch nicht und Claudi auch nicht. Und also Chichu wird da wahrscheinlich das schon mal gemacht haben, aber wir anderen noch nicht. Und wie cool ist es, sagen zu können, im Leben irgendwann mal, hey, ich habe eine App kreiert vom Design her. Ne? Das Schreiben ist ja nochmal was anderes, aber das vom Design her, am Ende sehen die Leute das Design, die sehen nicht das Schreiben. Das ist quasi selbstverständlich, mehr oder weniger. Es gibt auch Seiten, meine ich, auf denen man so Termine legen kann. Dann können wir gucken, wo die meisten wahrscheinlich gehen. Kolja, möchtest du das übernehmen? Dazu eine Umfrage zu machen? Wenn es gar nicht bei dir passt, mache ich es. Ansonsten. Oder Kisino macht es selber. Es wäre jedenfalls richtig cool, wenn wir das nochmal abstimmen könnten. Wann eine gute Zeit ist, wo wir alle können, wo wir wirklich miteinander, statt ich quatsche irgendwas, sondern dass wir da produktiv vorankommen, dass wir zusammen was kreieren, dass wir zusammen was aufbauen. Darum geht es doch bei der ganzen Sache hier. Und ich versuche halt quasi sonntags einen Experten dazu zu bekommen, dass er was uns dazu erzählt. Der Link ist meiner Meinung nach über, also ich habe das mal, weiß ich gar nicht, ich denke, der war über Discord schon erreichbar. Das weiß ich aber jetzt nicht genau. Ich weiß, ich habe einen Link zugeschickt bekommen per E-Mail, aber ich weiß nicht genau, wie das lief. Musst du was sagen, Kolja? Da ist er. Ja, also das war ein grandioser Zeitpunkt, eine grandiose Sache wieder heute. Es hat mir riesen Spaß gemacht, mit ihm darüber zu reden. Es war super, ich mag ihn auch sehr, den Enrique, das ist ein toller Kerl. Und wir finden bestimmt da noch mehr Experten, die uns da viel helfen können. Und nochmal der Aufruf an euch alle, weil es ist umso leichter, dafür Experten zu finden, umso, wenn ich denen sage, es gucken halt auch mal ein paar Leute zu. Wenn ich jetzt sage, wir sind zu zweit oder zu dritt, ist es schwieriger, die zu finden. Dann ist ja mehr oder weniger so ein Private Zoom-Ding, sondern eher, dass noch mehr zuschauen. Also, ja, das wäre toll. Kaya, nee, ich würde es komplett frei gestalten. Also ich kann euch sagen, Claudia und ich sind sehr, sehr, oh, jetzt lehne ich mich zu weit aus dem Fenster wahrscheinlich, aber sehr, sehr frei in der zeitlichen Gestaltung. Was doof ist für uns beide, ist halt, wie es jetzt ist, 21 Uhr, weil dann kann nur ich teilnehmen und Claudia nicht. Oder nur Claudia maximal im Stream und dann ist das schon gut im Stream. Weil wir nun mal 2 Kinder haben. 2 tolle Kinder. Wir haben eine tolle Idee. Wir haben bis jetzt tolle Arbeit geleistet. Das muss ich jetzt ehrlich mal so sagen. Großes Kompliment an euch alle. Und dann sollten wir das jetzt ordentlich weiterführen. Der Dezember wird so ein bisschen maßgeblich werden, wie das Ganze ausgehen wird. Weil im Januar dann, weil wir das vorbereiten, was im Januar dann passiert. Deswegen wäre es cool, wenn ihr dabei seid. Und sagt, er fände früher auch besser. Ja, und dann? Ich würde mich freuen. Und nochmal der Hinweis an euch, sagt mir, welchen Experten ihr benötigt, so wie es Kolja heute gemacht hat. Und dann dann besorge ich das. Ich habe gute Beziehungen, ich kriege alles hin, egal was man braucht, ich krieg's hin. Ja, es war ziemlich viel, es war ziemlich viel Input. Das war wieder so, wie wir hatten unseren Point of View, unsere Sichtweise, wie wir das Ganze gesehen haben. Und das war so, kennt ihr das so, wenn jemand ein Spiel neu anfängt, dann ist er meistens relativ gut in dem Spiel, weil er sich nicht große Gedanken macht, sondern weil er quasi das so spielt, wie man ein Unbeteiligter tun würde. Und umso tiefer man in dieses Spiel reinkommt, umso komplexer wird das Spiel, umso mehr merkt man, wie krass viele Sachen man beachten muss. Am Ende des Spiels, wenn man so quasi zum absoluten Experten geworden ist, merkt man das, was man ganz am Anfang, wie man ganz am Anfang das Spiel gespielt hat, war ziemlich gut. Also das war so ziemlich, das war quasi, wie sagt man, 80%, 80-20-Regel wieder. Das waren so 80%, die man schon erfüllt hat, während man auf dem Weg dahin 50% falsch gemacht hat. Also, aber 80% war ganz gut und dann weiß man aber auch, wie man die restlichen 20% hinbekommt. Deswegen unsere 80% waren ganz okay bisher, aber da gibt es halt noch die restlichen 20%, die unendlich kompliziert sind. Und die können wir jetzt versuchen umzusetzen. Und das war eins davon, die Option. So, das war ein super langer Stream heute. Zu Recht, es war richtig cool. Mir hat es super viel Spaß gemacht. Ich schreibe dem Enrique jetzt auch gleich noch vielen lieben Dank. Und ich freue mich auf euch, von euch zu hören, ob wir Mittwoch machen. Ich weiß nicht, ich würde jetzt erstmal Mittwoch 21 Uhr festhalten, aber wenn wir bis dahin sagen, nee, ein anderer Termin ist besser, dann machen wir bis dahin einen anderen Termin. Ansonsten würde ich jetzt 21 Uhr Mittwoch festhalten, als Arbeitsstream, als sage, wir arbeiten daran. Ansonsten ändern wir die Termine, wann immer wir wollen, wie wir wollen und so weiter und so fort. Ich wünsche euch einen schönen Sonntagnacht. Es ist jetzt ab 23 Uhr, darf man Nacht sagen, meiner Meinung nach. Kommt gut in die nächste Woche. Viel Erfolg, die am Studium hängen oder die irgendwelche ungewöhnlichen Aufgaben zu leisten haben. Also ungewöhnlich für sie. Und ansonsten euch noch eine gute Nacht, einen schönen Schlaf. Wir sehen uns bald. Ich freue mich auf euch. Bis bald.